I was over here thinking they would cast a movie star actor again, because, you know, it wouldn't be the first time. Hey, you guys, it's me, Darius here, and, yeah, they did it. They casted the actors for the Zelda movie, and suffice to say, I am relieved. um, as well as I can understand, some people being sad and mad as well for this cast that we have for Zelda. And I just want to say, firstly, I'm happy with their decision on this. And the actress herself, as you can see already, will be drawing her. And I felt compelled to draw her because it's like drawing her will bring a point across on why she's great for the casting and why I, for one, think this is a great choice for her character, and that she's actually quite perfect for the role. And there are many reasons for that. I'll go through some of them as we go on, but the first one is, of course, that let's talk faces, okay? So now I can't talk about this without mentioning her, obviously, but Hunter Schafer, or Schaefer, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Now, of course, when I came across the posts about her for the first time on Twitter, and they did the comparisons of her and Zelda, I was like, wow, like that is actually really good. She's actually quite spot on. If we were to talk about Twilight Princess, and that is the point in that I want to drive on, like, because Twilight Princess, I feel like at first and foremost, it's kind of like a standalone Zelda game. Because something that is important to iterate is that Twilight Princess, the atmosphere of Twilight Princess was serious, monotone, and realistic. And it was definitely a game that didn't have like gore or what's the better way to say it, like it's mature in its atmosphere of things. Like let's take so like Smash Ultimate's design for Zelda, okay? Her design is cutesy, and that sparks the princess vibe, and of course Zelda Twilight Princess does that too, but it's more on the realistic side of things, on the style of it. And then once we get into like Breath of the Wild Zelda, then that's where she still retains the realistic dynamic of Zelda, and takes it to what do you call it, the world adventuring aesthetic. But her design there is adventurous and rebellious in a sense, if you will. And I feel like that's where the difference is there. Like, Twilight Princess Zelda is kind of just her own right of Zelda, and I feel like that's where we're like, it's important to understand that Twilight Princess Zelda and Twilight Princess in general was kind of its own game, and so that's where it makes sense to bring it back to the standard, or like where it all began as far as, you know, her design with Zelda is. So I feel like with Bo Bragason that her appearance fits the role of that traditional Zelda. And that being said, another reason why I think it's a great casting is because nobody knows who this is.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I was like, who is this? You know, it's like, wow. You know, I was over here thinking they would cast a movie star actor again, because, you know, it wouldn't be the first time. And so with Nintendo, though, they gave it they set the stage for a new star, and someone who is new to the game in the sense, and is young as well. And so that's really nice to see that, because it's like, oh my gosh, like if they make this a trilogy, you know, or even more than a trilogy, because there's more than one Zelda storytelling, or basically multiple Zelda games where they tell different stories. And so we'll get to see her grow up in a sense, you know? And so it's very cool to see that, because we'll be growing up with her in a sense and seeing the story develop and expand into things that are going to be interesting. Getting to see that interest grow up is where it like adds a sense of nostalgia, you know, because we've gotten used to her. And so that's where it's like, you know, I'm really looking forward to what they do with this. If in a sense it feels like Spider-Man, because, you know, with Spider-Man you grew up with the Tobey Maguire, you know, that was great. And then they passed it on to Andrew Garfield, which was even great as well. And then, of course, they passed it on to Tom Holland. And so it's really quite fitting to see the passing of the mantle here, because it's going to be like that in a sense, because we'll be seeing these characters, these actors grow up into the roles. And as the roles go on, the story will go on as well. And so I'm really looking forward to the movies that will come from Legend of Zelda. I was very hyped, as always, after I saw the Mario movie. It got me to thinking, like, what would they do with Zelda? You know, I would actually prefer them do a live action approach to it, because Zelda is, you know, driven on the realistic style and atmosphere of things, you know, and they're doing just that. They're going with that approach, and so that's really amazing to see that, and I'm really hyped with what they're gonna come up with. But aside from all that, that's gonna do it for this one. All that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.